Okay, so we're here and I'm putting the sear back in, and this is the reassembly of the Romanian TTC Tokarev. Alright, so before I was previously talking about this pin right here on the sear. You line it up, push it through, and make sure that these pieces, I don't know if you can see it very well, but there's a piece on the sear here, and there's this piece right here. I don't know exactly what they're called, but they gotta line up like that. If you don't have them right, then you'll find out quickly. And look what happened. I screwed that up. The spring's on the outside, so give me a second while I readjust that. There's actually a notch in here that the spring goes into. This is like the return spring on the sear. You kind of got to push it in there and then push the pin through at the same time. Give it a little finesse, don't force it, but you know what I mean. And it's being a bitch right now, so I don't know what its deal is. There we go. We got her back in there. Once again, my lighting's really bad, so I'm trying to do this. Alright, so you got your hammer here and your spring. You're gonna put it back in the hammer where it came out. And there's a little bar. Shit, I don't know if you guys can see that because the camera's all blurry and shit. But there's a bar right there. Right there. And the spring actually rides on that bar. And you're going to slide your hammer in and spring just like this. And I wish you could, let me move the camera so you guys get a better angle. There. So basically there's this pin right here, and that's stationary, and you want the spring to sit on that pin. Well, the tough part is getting this. You gotta put this pin in, the rotating pin, while pushing the spring in and compressing it. And it's really a big bitch, but I'm gonna try to do that for you guys here. It's really tough, but I'll try. I'll give it a try, guys. It's been a while since I've taken this apart, so bear with me. I don't even remember. I forgot how I did it. There. That's not good. Alright, let me put that spring back in there. And you're gonna put it on that stationary pin I was talking about, that spring, and you're gonna want to put pressure on it while you push your pin through. This is kind of like a two-man job, but it's really tough to do. So bear with me once again. God dang it. I'm sure there's probably an easier way to do this, but I'm not sure right now. There. And it should just go right in. Make sure these are like somewhat flush with the side of the, what do you call it, the side of this trigger group thing, because if you don't, then it's really tough to take out of your pistol grip. Alright, so the hammer is back together now, and it's ready to go. there's quarter cock. And I'll pull the trigger. Pull the trigger. Actually, I don't know why it's so tough. There, now it's cocked fully. And I'm going to pull this here, and it should fire. There. That's what it looks like when it's fired. And that's quarter cocked right there. And all the way fully cocked. It's like that. And when you pull the trigger, the hammer goes forward. And it should go into quarter cock if you don't let it go all the way, but I wouldn't jack with it. Anyway, that's the hammer assembly. We're going to put the pistol grip back together. Here's that return spring for the trigger. It goes into here. Make sure you use this end right here. It goes in around underneath that pin. Slide it in as such. I really wish my lighting was better so you guys could see, but I'm trying to do what I can. And it should set up like that. I don't know if you can see that very well. Next, you're going to take your firing, your trigger. Make sure it goes in like that. So when you go to put it in, you're going to slide it in like that. But you're going to go through the inside like this. I'm going to go through the other side because it's easier for me. And then you're going to slide it through the trigger housing or group or whatever, like that. And all you're going to do is just pull up on this and kind of like cam it like that as you're pushing up, and then it should just go into place and work like that. Alright, so now we're going to put the grips back on. This one, make sure your letters are like that. I don't know if you can read them, but they should be upright. So now you're going to take your, let's say a screwdriver, I guess. Go in here and turn this tab. Just bear with me too, it's like really shitty lighting and I'm trying to look through the camera at the same time. And I don't have any tools really, so I use whatever I found. Alright, so now that's completely locked on, shouldn't go anywhere. And previously I was talking about this. Whenever it's locked on your handle, it should be like that, which will be holding onto the frame. But it's got to be unlocked, so the tabs are on the plastic. And what you're going to do is put it back on the gun. And in here, there's that tab that you move towards the front of the pistol, and it should lock onto the frame once again. Like that. Now your grips are secure. Next you're going to take your hammer housing or assembly, slide it right in. There's a notch here, like I was stating before. Slide that in, set that aside for now. Now we're going to put the barrel and slide back together. Slide it in through the end right here, like that. Make sure your lug is up. This lug right here, make sure that is up. Take your barrel bushing, make sure it is straight up 180 degrees from where it's supposed to be. Turn it around like that, and I'll do that again. So you get your barrel bushing, you slide it on like this, kind of like a peep sight. Push it in and turn it 180 degrees so it lines up with that. Now what you're going to do is take your spring, and the button end goes into that part of the bushing, and make sure your the guide right here is up against your barrel. This is where it goes, because if you don't have that right, it will not slide inside of this piece right here. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in there real quick. Make sure your lug's up once again, because if it isn't, it's a bitch getting that spring back in there. And this is the hard part, is you kind of got to force it in there and keep the spring straight while holding it, of course. And there we go. Make sure you keep your finger on that, because that spring will fly out. Now you're going to turn the slide over as such. Grab your pistol grips housing, trigger housing, spring, whatever, frame, whatever you want to call it. Slide that on from the front on the rail, and make sure you push up on that, and it should just go back on like that. Take your retaining pin, your slide lock pin, push it back in through the hole. Oh yeah, and grab it once again and put a little tension on it so you can see that line up like that. Put your pin in, line it up. Take your tool, whatever you want to use, to slide your retaining clip back in, and just slide it over the first, slide it over this one, the second pin, which is the slide lock. Cock it back, slide it, fire it a couple times to make sure it works, and you're ready to go shoot. That's the complete disassembly and reassembly of the Romanian Tokarev TTC. If you have any questions, I'll try helping you out. I did paint the front sight. I don't know if you can see that the hammer's kind of in the way. There. I did paint the front sight so it's easier to aim. And bang. I plan on redoing this gun soon. Rebluing it. It's kind of, I like it how it looks, but I don't know. I did take this out, the safety. I don't know if I mentioned that before, because it never really worked. You're better off just putting on a quarter cock so you can't fire it, or you're just better off knowing that there's not one in the chamber, or if there is, practice gun safety. As always, be safe, and treat others like you want to be treated. So if you want to be shot, then don't be an idiot. Anyway, I will be making another video on a Remington, or a Smith & Wesson Model 22A that I picked up from a buddy of mine. Anyway, this is Demolitions of Dirt. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll try to help you out. Thanks a lot, guys. Please comment and subscribe, as always.